What is up, everybody? What is up, family? Family, welcome back, y'all, to the Cave Within, the live broadcast. Saturday Night Live for the Spirit. We have officially have made our return within the Cave Within. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I am super excited. It's been a while. For all my regular broadcast listeners, you know how it goes. Sometimes I take a few days off from doing broadcasts just so I can regather, refocus, regroup, which is something I encourage each and every one of my regular broadcast listeners and my first time listeners. And speaking of my first time listeners, my name is Clifton Pope of Health Fitness Wealth Business Incorporated. And tonight's broadcast is for simply unwinding and returning to yourself through a balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, breath, stillness, and ambient sound. That is the environment that the Cave Within is all about for all my first time listeners. And also for all my first time listeners, regular broadcast listeners, y'all know this already. This is for the restless souls, the night healers, the deep healers, the overthinkers, and anyone carrying more than they had time to process. This is for y'all as well. This is basically a live digital sanctuary for people who want to unwind at night, study or focus, sleep, reflect, journal, pray, meditate, do whatever it is that helps you feel spiritually and creatively recentered. And that's what it's all about here within the Cave Within. For all my first time listeners, welcome aboard. To all of my regular broadcast listeners, welcome back. Welcome back. We coming in hot once again. It's August the 22nd, 2026, and this is the Cave Within broadcast, baby. We're live on kicks.com / Mr. Did Not Give Up 44 at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. That's the way you can support this sanctuary and this broadcast by hitting the subscribe button there. If you're watching live on kicks.com now, let me know how you're feeling in the chat as always, whether it's good, whether it's bad. The way I see it at the end of the day is that all publicity and all reactions are good publicity and good reactions, because you can learn something from love, and you could always learn something from love, always, but you could even learn something from the hate. The way I see it, you can learn what to do and what not to do. But in regards to tonight, as far as this Saturday Night Live for the Spirits, I wanted to go back to one of my favorite themes and one of my favorite things I like to talk about, that I truly, truly believe and what I truly, truly live by. And I've talked about this before in the past. I want to say in a previous like social media videos that I've done through all of my social media platforms. Tonight's theme is going to be big picture, small step. Big picture, small step. As I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about in particular tonight for this Cave Within broadcast on this August 22nd, 2026 position, I wanted to kind of just touch on just kind of where I'm at right now, right? And these days, I'm focused on the big picture. Yes, it's a brand new day in the neighborhood. Yes, great power comes great responsibility. I'm still riding the momentum and the high off of the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie that released a couple of weeks ago. Now it's actually been out for almost a month. I don't know if you noticed, it's already made $2 million in like box office sales and breaking all kinds of records. Spider-Man Brand New Day, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend you go see it. Even if you're not a Spider-Man person, you can learn a lot just from watching that particular Spider-Man movie alone. And lately, I've been kind of just really focusing more so than ever on just one day at a time, one step at a time. And when you take just one small step, one day at a time, taking advantage of your brand new day in the neighborhood, the big picture becomes a lot more clear. Even when the setbacks come, small problems can suddenly feel enormous. All it takes is one delayed goal, and it makes you want to question everything, your whole process, your past, your present, your future. It fuels up the worry, the stress, the anxiety, and definitely the fear. That could all occur in one difficult day, and it can make you forget how far you've already come. And at the same time, it makes you more concerned on how much more you need to go instead of realizing how far you have come. But tonight, in this big picture, small step theme for this Cave Within live broadcast, we're going to practice that simple return. Big picture, small step. Say it in the chat with me and also say it on the replay on Rumble at CPHFWB44 if you're watching the replay. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Big picture, small step. That's how we're doing it on this Saturday Night Live for the Spirit, because that's how I'm feeling within my own spirit and within my own soul. And yes, indeed. So, I want y'all to remember the vision like always, without a doubt. And then I want you to focus on the next faithful action. Let me tell you what I mean by this. You do not have to solve your entire life tonight. Nobody's going to do that. It's a day by day, step by step process. All you could do is just worry about today, because sufficient for the day is its own troubles, as it says in Matthew 6:34. Of course, me cutting bits and pieces of that scripture in half. You do not have to solve your entire life tonight. All you have to do is just identify one step that brings you back towards hope, one step that brings you back towards faith, and one step that brings you back towards love. Faith, hope, love. The greatest of these being love. As I take that out of the book of Corinthians, breaking down a little bit of scripture, as we continue to ground ourselves and continue to just establish some stillness, let's do what we normally do as we warm things up for the cave within. Let's take a nice inhale through the nose, of course, for 3 to 5 seconds as we hold our breath, same time frame, and then let's exhale through the nose or through the mouth for 3 to 5 seconds. And again, just breathe in through your nose for 3 to 5 seconds. Hold your breath for that same time frame, and then slowly exhale again for that time frame of 3 to 5 seconds. If you haven't already, let your shoulders drop, relax your jaw, soften your hands, notice any tension and stress from the roots of your feet all the way to the crown on top of your head. Tune into that chi energy, that warm sensation, the oxygen as it flows in and out of you within each inhale, within each exhale. Tuning into how the blood flows throughout the body, again, from the roots of your feet all the way to the crown of your head. And just a friendly reminder, you do not have to perform here. You do not have to explain yourself here as you continue to inhale and as you continue to exhale. All you have to do is just simply arrive. And of course, before we go deeper into the grounding and big picture reflection, if this space continues to help you breathe easier, like we're currently getting ready to do and what we're currently doing right now, be sure to support it. Kicks.com/ Mr. Did Not Give Up 44 at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. Subscribe. That way we can keep the Cave Within broadcast alive day by day, step by step. Remember, y'all, big picture, small step. So let's begin by grounding in the present moment, right? Being more mindful in the present moment, at least for me, I've been realizing this more than ever these days. That's the greatest gift that you can have within the course of life. It's just being more present in the moment, becoming more one with the stillness and the awareness within us and all around us. And that's kind of what a brand new day in the neighborhood is all about, because yes, we have a neighborhood that we live in, of course, physically and within actual homes and stuff, obviously, but we also have a neighborhood within us as well, because it says in the Bible, and it talks about this in the Bible and majority of religious texts, that the body is definitely the temple. So technically, we have a whole entire neighborhood and community within us if you really break it down from that perspective. So when you look at it from that perspective, you got to become more present in the moment, because that's the greatest gift that we could ever receive every single day within the course of this life. So let's ground ourselves in this present moment. Feel the roots of your feet on your floor. Feel the surface beneath your body. Wherever you're at, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, just notice the area around you. And I want you to bring to mind the big picture. And when we do this, as we do this, let me ask you a quick question. What kind of life are you trying to build? Let me say that again. What kind of life are you trying to build? Are you trying to become more healthier, establish peace, build a family, carry out your purpose, be more creative, continue to grow within your spiritual journey, become more financially stable, possibly, maybe even challenge yourself by doing more meaningful work, or you could just be becoming more present and courageous. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. What kind of life are you trying to build is all that I'm asking. You don't have to answer it right now. Let it come to you at the right moment in time. Don't force it. Let it flow. That's what the cave within is all about. We're not forcing anything here. We're just letting it flow. Because you don't have to see the entire road. All you got to do is just remember the direction. That's all you got to do. Just remember where you're trying to go and where you're trying to get to. Just like how you put addresses into your GPS on your phone, it'll take you to where you need to go and where you need to be. Yeah, you may have to drive a few miles and it may take a few minutes, but you'll get to your destination eventually. You might as well just be in tune with the present moment and become more one with the stillness and awareness within you and all around you. And let me throw in another question now that we're asking some questions here, or at least I am, to my cave within family. How we feeling? How we feeling? Let me know in the chat if you're watching live on Kicks. If you're watching live on my Rumble page, let me know in the comments. I want you to ask yourself this, everyone. What is one small step I can take tonight or tomorrow, even, that supports the person I am becoming? Let's run back that question one more time so it could really sink in like always. What is one small step I can take tonight or tomorrow that supports the person I am becoming? As that question sinks in, I want us to take another inhale through the nose, hold our breath for a few seconds, and exhale slowly through the nose or through the mouth, whichever's more comfortable. As we continue to inhale, as we continue to exhale, I want us just to repeat a few things quietly to ourselves, like, I remember the vision. I release the pressure to do everything at once, and I could take one meaningful step. As we continue to inhale, as we continue to exhale, again, just reminding ourselves quietly that we can remember the vision. We can release the pressure to do everything at once. And we could all take one meaningful step, y'all. All it takes is just one meaningful step to where we can really see the big picture much more clearly. And speaking of the big picture, as we transition into our poetry pieces for this Cave Within live broadcast on August 22nd, 2026, the theme is big picture, small step, right? So it's only right if I put together a poem based on the big picture. And that's the name of the first poetry piece, by the way. It's called The Big Picture. And it goes like this, everyone. When the setback fills the whole room, step back. The mountain may be real, but it's not the entire sky. The delay may be painful, but it's not the entire story. The mistake may be yours, but it's not your entire identity. Look again. There's still a road beneath the dust. There's still a vision beyond beneath the disappointment. And there's still a future that has not asked you to become perfect. It is only asking that you remember where you are going. And that is the big picture poetry piece. Let it settle, let it sink in as we get ready to rewind it like we always do and bring it on back here on this Cave Within live broadcast. Big picture, small steps, baby. All it takes is just one step at a time, one day at a time. through the instruction, guidance, and sense of direction of the Most High God, the original source of consciousness, or the monad. It's all the same thing. You could argue about the name, but you can't deny the existence of a higher divine power. As we get back to running back the first poetry piece called The Big Picture, let's get back into it. When the setback fills the whole room, step back. The mountain may be real, but it's not the entire sky. The delay may be painful, but it's not the entire story. The mistake may be yours, but it's not your entire identity. Look again. There is still a road beneath the dust. There is still a vision beneath the disappointment. There is still a future that has not asked you to become perfect. It's only asking you to remember where you are going. And that is the big picture poetry piece. As we continue to let that settle once again, I want to remind you that sometimes the big picture does not remove the problem. It simply puts the problem back in the proper size, its proper size, that is. Let me say that again so it can make more sense and we can see it more clearly. Sometimes the big picture does not remove the problem, it simply puts the problem back in its proper size. Ah, it minimizes the problem because it's not that much of a big deal. We make it a big deal by overthinking it and creating more problems that didn't need to be there in the first place. That's how we come in hot on the attack on as far as figuring things out for sure. Before I go into the second poetry piece, I want to say a few things here real quick to kind of tie this big picture, small step theme that we're on this Cave Within live broadcast on this Saturday Night Live for the Spirit, August 22nd, 2026. Have you ever noticed that when we get discouraged, we often allow one moment to become the definition of everything? I know I've done that a few times. Like, here's a good example for all of my fitness heads out there. One missed workout becomes I'm inconsistent. I can never get back on track. This is something that I'm currently dealing with and working on every single day. We all are in some form of capacity. We may or may not be. One financial setback becomes I'll never get ahead. Ooh, we've all definitely have been there at one point. We'd be lying to ourselves if that wasn't the case. Here's another one. One difficult conversation becomes nothing in my life is working. Man, that's crazy. That's a whole lot of truth to that to a certain degree, depending on perspective. Oh, here's a classic one. One mistake becomes this is who I am. Man, that's a whole lot of guilt involved in that. But I'm saying all of these examples to say this. A setback is just an event. It's just a bad moment. It really is. It's kind of like I remember watching like a Deion Sanders interview, and I remember he mentioned something about I don't have bad days. I have bad moments. I just don't let those bad moments define the whole day. And it's one of those things whenever you hear something that's inspiring from someone, it just rings off a light bulb in your head to where it's like, you know what, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. So that's kind of how I'm looking at setbacks, and that's kind of how I'm looking at everything to where everything that is kind of like going against me as far as within the resistance, that's how I look at the resistance. All it is just a bad moment. It's just a matter of how you're going to react and how you're going to respond. Because one of the classic quotes that I like to say all the time, and it's very classic, a lot of people know this: life is only 10%. The other 90% is how you respond to it or how you react to it. These days, I'm focusing more on responding instead of reacting. At least that's what I'm practicing more and more every single day. And I highly encourage you to do the same. But again, the setback is only the event. It's not, it doesn't, a setback automatically doesn't define who you are as far as your personal identity. That's what I'm really trying to say here. Because the big picture reminds you that your life is larger than the moment you're currently standing in. Big picture, small step. And all it takes is one step. And it's funny how I say one step because that's actually the name of the second poetry piece I prepared for y'all. One step. You do not need to cross the whole distance before you begin. You just need one step. One glass of water, an honest conversation, one page written, a prayer, one prayer whispered, one walk around the block, one boundary honored, one decision not to abandon yourself today. The step may look small to the impatient eye, but hope has always known how to travel quietly, repeatedly, one small movement at a time. One step, y'all. One step. And seriously, that's all it takes. That is literally all it takes is one small step every single day. And again, that's what makes it a brand new day in the neighborhood. Matter of fact, let's rewind that because like always within the cave within broadcast, I really want every single spoken word piece to sink in word for word. That way it can help us grow because I want y'all to have the sacred knowledge that's within these spoken word pieces to where it could transform into divine wisdom that will help you grow just like it's helped me grow. Hi, Sophia. But let's run back that second poetry piece called One Step. You do not need to cross the whole distance before you begin. You just need one step, one glass of water, one honest conversation, one page written, one prayer whispered, one walk around the block, one boundary honored, one decision not to simply abandon yourself today. The step may look small to the impatient eye, but hope has always known how to travel quietly, repeatedly, one small movement at a time. One step, one step. And again, small does not mean meaningless. A small step can interrupt a large pattern. That's a fact. A small step can interrupt a large pattern. So I want us to kind of get back to, you know, bringing the big picture and the small step together a little bit as we begin the process of setting the groundwork for our meditation for this evening. I want us to kind of inhale real quick for just a gentle breath for 4 seconds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just exhale for 6 seconds. Count to six by yourself. And on your next inhale, just remind yourself that I remember my direction. And on your next exhale, remind yourself I release the pressure to rush. As we go, one more inhale, remind yourself I am still becoming. And on your next exhale, remind yourself one step is enough for now. And before we go into our meditation for the evening, I want you to ask yourself this question and maybe carry it into the meditation so you can really let this sink in. What is my next right step? Oh man, that's a really good question. And that's even a question I myself am starting to figure out every single day. And it's a never-ending process. What is my next right step? I say that to say do not ask for the entire plan and don't demand every answer. What's the next step? Let whatever answer that comes to mind, just keep it simple, stupid. And that's how you can blow a kiss. But we're now going to be moving into the deeper ambient portion of tonight's sanctuary. All my regular broadcast listeners, first time listeners, how this works. It's less talking, more sound, more space, more stillness. This is your time to study. If you want to study, if you're winding down, falling asleep for the night, by all means, let this be your soundtrack. If you're clearing yourself with some journaling, by all means, if you're having moment of silence, peace and quiet time with prayer, reflection, meditation, or if you just want to rest without needing to be productive. That's what this is all about here, as far as the meditation portion within the cave within. As we get things all set up, I want you to simply close your eyes or soften your gaze if you haven't already. As we get this soundscape going as of now, I want you to allow yourself to settle in. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose or mouth. Notice any stress or tension from the roots of your feet up to the crown of your head. And if you notice any tension and stress, simply release it as it no longer serves you. Release yourself from all forms of worry, stress, anxiety, and fear as it no longer serves you. It's out with the old, in with the new, as we channel the power of the Christ, as we're all chosen and anointed through the power of the Christ. As we continue to inhale, as we continue to exhale, releasing ourselves from our thoughts, feelings, emotions, the ego, just for a brief moment, not to run away, but to acknowledge, accept, and embrace it and become the observer and the watcher, again, just for a moment. I want these words to settle into you like the setback is not the whole story. I can return to the vision and I can take one small step. As I leave y'all to meditate, I want y'all to remember this. The setback is not the whole story. I could return to the vision. I could take one small step. And if your mind wanders, gently just return back to the power of your breath. I will leave y'all to this meditation here within the cave within. And again, I thank y'all for being part of this live broadcast within the cave within, your live digital sanctuary for all things poetry, meditation, and stillness. And like always, we will be right back as we tune in to our ambient immersion for this broadcast. All right, everybody. And just like that, we are back live in the Cave Within broadcast. Still in tune with our ambient immersion, our meditation for this broadcast as we continue to inhale through our nose, slowly exhale through the nose or mouth. If we haven't come back to our breath, let's return back to our breath, return to the big picture, let the next step become closer, and release the need to rush as we continue to inhale. If you continue to exhale, if your mind has been wandering, gently just return back to your breath. And just remember, progress is still progress, and hope can begin quietly. As we come back into our community connection, come back to our reflection from the external, as we attach ourselves back to our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our ego. Let's do what we normally do to close out every meditation here in the cave within. Let's do our three biggest inhales and our three biggest exhales. As we do the first of three, inhale through our nose, everyone, for 3 to 5 seconds. Hold in our breath for 3 to 5 seconds. And then exhale slowly for 3 to 5 seconds. As we repeat that process for the second of three, inhale through the nose for 3 to 5 seconds. Once more, holding your breath for 3 to 5 seconds, and then slowly exhale again for 3 to 5 seconds. Let's do this one more time together. Let's make it our biggest inhale through the nose for 3 to 5 seconds. Holding our breath for 3 to 5 seconds, and then let's slowly exhale for 3 to 5 seconds. As we come back in tune with ourselves, mind, body, spirit, heart, gut, and soul back in alignment whenever you're ready, you could simply open your eyes or come out of your softening gaze. As we begin to come back together, I want to invite you to reflect. How are we feeling right now, everyone? Let me know how you're feeling in the chat if you're watching live on kicks.com/ Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. At Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. If you're watching live on Rumble, the replay, let me know how you're feeling in the comments at CPHFWB44. Let me know how you're feeling, everyone, because you know how it is in the cave within. Whatever is true to you is always welcome. Now, I want you to complete this sentence. My big picture is blank. Fill in the blank. It doesn't have to be right now, but when it flows naturally, you will know what your big picture is. Again, my big picture is blank. Don't force it, y'all. Let it flow as you fill in that blank to that sentence. And here's another one you could also fill in as well. My small step is blank. Again, please don't force the answer. Let it flow naturally. Because who knows? Everyone's big picture and small step is different, is what I'm really trying to say. Your big picture could be becoming more healthier or building that business or restoring your faith, maybe even creating a peaceful home, or you may be recovering from something so traumatic to where you're just trying to heal yourself emotionally, or you're just trying to build back your confidence and your self-esteem. I don't know what your big picture is. That's your perspective and your journey, just like I have my journey and my perspective on things. And the same goes for the small step if you really think about it. What is your small step? I mean, maybe your small step can be making that one phone call you've been putting off, or going for a walk, or drinking more water to stay hydrated. Maybe writing something for 10 minutes for all of my creative thinkers and writers out there. Getting more proper rest. That is something I'm definitely working on for sure as my small step. Or it could be just asking for help on something. Again, depending on your perspective and where you're at within your journey of life, what is your small step? Oh, yeah, I just want you to remember this. You do not have to leap into the future. You can walk towards it. Let me say that again. You do not have to leap into the future. You can walk towards it. That's something I want y'all to remember as you continue to come in hot within the cave within. And real quick, if this kind of sacred stillness still speaks to you, if your spirit is hungry for more spaces like this, there are more places to rest and to continue this journey. I want to remind y'all, I still got my HFWB Gumroad digital e-commerce store. I still got my Nighttime Sanctuary Volume 1 through 3 pack on there with guided meditations and poetry pieces that I myself have personally recorded. And by the way, I got new poetry pieces and a new guided meditation coming soon for the volume pack there. I still got my audio books for my poetry book, The Infinity Chakras Journey Within. That is still available in audio book as well. And I also have my Fitness Mirage book available in audio book as well. That's also on gumroad.com. Type in Infinity Chakras or Fitness Mirage, or you can just type my name, Clifton Pope. It'll come up. Audiobooks available there. Also, if you're interested in kind of exploring a little bit deeper into the mind, body, spirit transformation, I do want to remind you here at Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business, it's the holistic philosophy. And success isn't one dimensional, y'all. It's I'm trying to help y'all bridge a healthier lifestyle through a holistic approach, maybe establish a little bit more financial intelligence and develop maybe your own entrepreneur mindset because true prosperity demands all three. And especially when it comes to living healthy and holistically, that's something I take very seriously because I am an ISO certified personal trainer and exercise transformation specialist. And within my programs, my holistic fitness program, and especially my HFWB exercise transformation program, I'm focusing on optimizing your body and your mind through disciplined training with primal pattern movements, mindful nutrition, and intermittent to extended fasting or OMAD, one meal a day. Basically, just overall sustainable habits that fuel every area of life. And you can get access to this, whether it's in person, whether you're here in Corpus Christi, Texas, where I'm currently located, or wherever you may be, however you may be listening all across the world. I do offer virtual programs and online programs as well. You can reach out to me directly at 361-765-4760, my personal phone number. You can call me or text me anytime to set up an online free consultation or an in-person free consultation. And you could also email me at cpope. This is all lowercase, the letter C, my last name, Pope, Pope. So cpope dot my initials, CP. So cpope dot cp at gmail.com. That's my email, cpope dot cp at gmail.com. Reach out to me now for your free consultation. We can put together a customizable program to where we can transform your mind, body, and spirit so much to where we unlock in the hidden secret to your potential in those three areas, and you can live more healthy and more holistically. That is the holistic philosophy here at Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. And also, you could also tune into other resources like my HFWB Success Planner, Meal Prep Plan Guide. I have a Glow Up Journal on my Gumroad store. And I also have more digital products on the way. I promise y'all, I've been cooking up some new stuff. You know how life is to where you got to put things on pause before you can get back to those things. But trust me, I got new stuff coming. I really, really do. You may hear about it on the next broadcast. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm giving you all of these resources just to remind you that basically they're here to help you organize your goals and create structure, maybe help you prepare your overall procedure and routine a little bit better to where you can keep your personal growth moving. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about within all of the resources that I offer within Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. And one more reminder before we get ready to close things out. If this space here in the cave within your live digital sanctuary for all things poetry, meditation, and stillness, if it helped you fall asleep, if it's helping you study, breathe, or just come back to yourself a little bit more, I want you to support it. I really do want you to support it by subscribing to Kicks.com. backslash Mr. Did Not Give Up 44 at Mr. Did Not Give Up 44. I can't stress that enough because all it takes is one person, one small step to help continue to build the big picture of the Cave Within broadcast, which is basically helping as many people as possible, one day at a time, one step at a time, help them come back to themselves through a balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness, and basically help them feel more mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and creatively recentered within their own mind, body, spirit, heart, gut, and soul. That's pretty much what it's all about within the Cave Within, and that's my intention every time I bring to you another live broadcast. And speaking of that, this has been a wonderful live broadcast of the Cave Within, Saturday Night Live for the Spirit, August 22nd, 2026. I want to thank everyone for being here inside the Cave Within. I really, really do appreciate all the love. And before you leave, take one final breath in with me through the nose for just 3 to 5 more seconds. And hold your breath once more for just 3 to 5 more seconds. And then let out one final exhale through your nose or mouth for 3 to 5 seconds. Let it all go as far as the stress and tension. Release it, for it no longer serves you. And remember, when the step back feels bigger than you, return to the big picture. When the journey feels too long, take the small step. You are not required to finish everything tonight. I know I'm not. You are only being invited to continue. One day at a time, one step at a time. And that's how we could take advantage of the brand new day in the neighborhood within you and all around you. And all it takes is just one breath, one choice, and one step. My name is Clifton Pope, and I have been your guide of the Cave Within live broadcast, courtesy of Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. This has been for the restless souls, the night healers, the deep feelers, for everyone learning how to keep moving towards the light. Everything will be all right. I want to wish y'all a wonderful, restful night, family. And remember, y'all, I want you to hold the vision. I want y'all to take that small step to where you can create your big picture within your journey of life, and simply just return whenever you need the Cave Within sanctuary. This has been another live broadcast and another balanced fusion of poetry, meditation, and stillness. I'll see y'all on the next broadcast, y'all. Peace and love and positive vibrations.